Oh my God. Oh my God. The internet is telling me I need to check the internet because the internet is telling me things. And girl, it's been an age. You're like, what are you checking on the internet? I need to make sure that it's actually fucking working. Watch this not actually be working. No, no, we don't want your ads. Why is there an ad on my live stream? Okay, it's working. My microphone is actually working. I have 3 topics to talk about tonight, but I thought I would sit here and play hi, how the fuck are you? It's been a while kind of game while we figure our shit out and realize how to do this live chat bullshit again, okay? I haven't done this in forever. Is anybody out there? It shows 0 people. There are 0 people. Where the fuck is Lunar Wisdom when you need her? She would be one person that would never leave you. Okay? So we're gonna play a little bit of Cindy Lou Who. Remember Cindy Lou Who? We're gonna play a little bit of Cindy Lou Who while I sit here and vape and watch this 0 hopefully become a 1. Oh my God, it became a 1. Now we can move on to our topic. I'm talking to one person, but I'm going to tell you all of my life secrets and my stories and just everything because COVID has taken away our ability to connect. You're like, you had a webcam, bitch. These are facts, but story time, sort of. I did not go live for the longest time because I thought I didn't have a microphone. And I didn't want to be some like fucking peasant ass bitch who's using her old broken ass phone, okay? And that just puts out really bad quality video and just be like, I'm live in a crappy, crappy phone. So I pulled out my microphone today to verify that it's actually broken. This is like months later. I pulled out this microphone. It turns out the fucker actually works. So I could have been boring you fuckers to death for the last, oh, I don't know, 3 months? I chose not to. We're going to get to my subjects in a minute. I needed some beverage. So I have 3 subjects to talk about tonight. And I'm hoping that people remember that I go live and that I talk about things and that I am the queen of YouTube. And then they come back because I am the only bitch on this channel. Channel? Yes, on this channel worth watching. There are other bitches on this channel, but I am the only bitch on this channel worth watching. And by channel, I do mean platform. So my 3 subjects are why demons? I have been asked this question numerous times. Why the fuck do you work with demons? Why can't you be like us? Why can't you work with the god or the goddess or why can't you be earth-based or why do you have to work with such dark entities and so on and so forth? And I'm sitting there and I'm being like, half you bitches too fucking busy on the internet posting about your new queen Lilith when it used to be Hecate. Okay, I have seen the change, bitches. I have seen the change. The queen is paying attention. It used to be the Hecate bandwagon. Now these bitches on the Lilith bandwagon. I mean, you bitches need to pick a goddamn bandwagon and just stay there instead of hopping all over the goddamn place. But you do you. So I mean, there are entities like the Morrigan, Hecate, Lilith, and other entities that are pagan, and we don't necessarily consider them dark or evil entities at all. But apparently, demons, when it comes to witchcraft, is bad. I mean, who has Christianity sinking through their veins in those thought processes? Then we want to talk about TV witches because I really want to shit all over the new Charmed, but no, I don't. I have been watching Vikings lately, and while it is a fantasy-based TV show, there is Norse mythology sprinkled throughout, and I am not an expert on any of that or any of those pagan traditions. But the point is that it is an inspiration to be witchy, which is where I wanted to go with that topic. And then the third topic that we're going to talk about is called quiet magic, okay, where you're off of social media, right? Like you're not posting your candle that's fucking engulfed in flames at 3 a.m. to Instagram, or running to grab your camera to make a YouTube video about a working that you're doing. I mean, I'm literally fucking hypocrite here, but you get my point, right? Quiet magic is taking the time to listen and to focus on your spirits and your craft and your path and reflect. And it's really one of those moments where you shut the fuck up and you just listen. Because someone asked me, and I have a video, it's coming. I have many videos. They go deep into April, deep, and then they go beyond April because I've been recording new videos. I've been kind of inspired lately. I haven't been inspired for a while. And it's kind of why I was like, fuck YouTube. Plus, I saw all these other bitches that were like talking nonsense on the internet. And I was like, I don't have time to debunk you or to like get in a fight with you on the internet and debunk you because you're stupid and spreading misinformation. So I'm just going to go and live my best life. And then I'm going to come back 20 years later. It's been 20 years. And I'm going to be wiser and more intelligent than these stupid bitches. And I don't think that worked, but I'm here anyways. I have two people now. Hello, two people. How are you? Okay, so first subject. Why the fuck do you work with demons? People have been asking me this. Let me position a little more comfy. So people have been asking me since I have started talking on my YouTube channel about working with demons, and they're like, why the do you work with demons? You get the Christian crazies, and I'm not talking the Christian witches, I'm talking the Christian crazies who are like, you need Jesus, or they start spouting off Psalms in your comment section, and you're sitting there and you're like, my hair makes me look like Karen, bitch. You don't want to fuck with me. So, and these are facts. My hair does make me look like Karen. And honey, I just want to tell you, this a fucking Wendy's. We ain't got no damn time for your manager bullshit. Get the fuck out. So, but I have just seen these types of comments where you get these crazy ass people who are posting these psalms, or you get these weird people who have these pictures for their comments of these like really obese Black men who are sharing the goodwill of Papa somebody, and it's not Legba, it's somebody else, or it's like it's this witch doctor who fixed their love life, and they're like in my comment section on my demon videos specifically, and I'm like, are my demons manifesting? Are they manifesting and doing all kinds of crazies on the internet? I don't know. So, and then the other people that I get are the real insane occult people. The people that are like, this is fake, this is not real, you're doing this wrong, you need to read such and such and such, and blah, blah, blah. And to them, I just say, go fuck yourself. Because you don't get to tell me how to do my craft. I don't sit there and tell you how to do your craft. Bitch, you don't get to sit there and have an opinion on my craft. I didn't ask you for an opinion on my craft. If I want your opinion, I will reach out. I will dial 1-800 go fuck yourself. Can I get your opinion on my craft? But I didn't dial that number. Okay? So, I mean, just pay the fuck attention. So, but some people have just flat out asked why, especially on TikTok in the witchy space of things, where it's almost like a taboo to work with entities that are not pagan based. And a lot of demons in Christianity are pagan based. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, you do you. I mean, I don't know of a demon that would represent the Morrigan, for example, but Ashtaroth or Ashtarote, I mean, pagan goddess, God, right there. I think the Christians are just crazy and they just make a bunch of shit up. But then I also think that the witches are just crazy and we just make a bunch of shit up. I think someone somewhere took a bunch of drugs and made a bunch of shit up. And this is why our society is so fucked up on all levels, everywhere, all over the place. The whole thing, top to bottom, it's all fucked up. And the reason is because people took drugs in a cave and scribbled down their thoughts on paper. This is a wild conspiracy. And now we live by that scripture to some degree in some really fucked up way. You're like, that doesn't answer our question. No, it doesn't. And I don't plan to answer your question. I work with demons because I want to work with demons. Do you have any more questions? They're not as finicky and they're not as bogged down in ritual ceremony. I think the magicians are the ones that get bogged down in ritual ceremony and they see texts and books and people who talk about it as if it can only be done one way. So, for example, a lot of people like to say that I need to read the Solomon's books and I need to go through the grimoires and do those rituals in order to properly contact and reach out to demonic entities. And why? Why do I need to do that when the way that I reach out to spirits or the Morrigan or any other pagan god or goddess or entity can be used or be done the exact same way for a demon? I mean, it's just a fucking spiritual entity at the end of the day. It's energy that we are manifesting. Okay, I mean, don't fuck with me. I mean, why do you need to have some complicated, elaborate ritual to do something that is, or to ask something of an entity when I don't need to torture it or read it, the fucking Bible? Okay, I'm not going to sit there and read the Bible to a demon to get it to do what I want it to do. I'm going to give it the offerings that I think are appropriate in that particular time and see if that works. And most of the time it does work. Okay, so I don't understand why I need to pay your shitty ass course and read your shitty ass books on your shitty ass opinion on why you should reach out to demons in a specific way. I've read the text and I understand why they're there, but I'm just not going to do it because it doesn't make sense to me in my craft. I don't need to be that elaborate and I don't need to torture them. All of these texts, these books that you read on demons, they paint them in such a negative and nasty light. And I mean, the Christians painted the Norse gods in negative and nasty lights and called them demons and devils, and they called pagans heathens. And I don't, okay, unless you live in the South, we don't really call you heathens anymore, but I think about calling you a heathen because you a heathenous bitch. That's what you are. Somebody joined and they joined right at the time that I'm calling the entire audience, which is like nobody, a heathenous bitch. Wonder what that says about myself. Or them. What's that say about you, person who joined in the middle of my heathenous bitch conversation? I'll tell you what it says. It says nothing. So the fundamental question of why the hell do you work with demons has still not been answered. Because I'm one person and I'm just tangenting about because I'm lonely. Okay, I'm allowed to be a lonely individual. It's like 8:30 at night and no one, I need more people. Maybe if I stay up later and go live at later times, later and later and later and later. It's like, hi, I'm the Witchy Show. I'm coming to you live at 3 a.m. No, we're not going to do that. But I have had some long ass live chats on this channel. I have had people on this channel for hours. And I have been on enemies' channels and I have been on other people's channels. I don't think I could go on anybody else's channels. I'm too old to go on other people's channels and talk to them about their nonsense witchcraft and their nonsense bullshit. I got asked by this TikToker who wanted me to go on, I don't know, was it Instagram? No, it was YouTube. And they wanted me to go on their channel and they wanted to talk about, fuck was it? Christian witchcraft. And I don't practice Christian witchcraft. And I don't know anything about Christian witchcraft except you pray to God and you do witchcraft. And I got no problems with that. But I was just like, I don't want to go on anybody's channel because I'm old and I'm lazy. And that still doesn't answer the question of why do you work with demons? Because I'm ranting and I'm raving and this is how shit gets done on the Witchy Show. It's mysterious, okay? It's fun. It's dangerous. Someone said it was dangerous a long time ago to fuck around with demons. So you know what I did? I did my hair up like Karen. I walked into Wendy's and I said, give me a large fry, motherfucker, because I'm here to summon the goddamn devil. If you weren't here for the previous Karen joke, then there's nobody here anyways. I'm just pretending. I just like to pretend. Sometimes YouTube bugs out and it's like, you have 0 people. And then I find out hours later, it's like, no, you had like lots of, and it's like, no, no one cares. So that's why I work with demons. If you don't know why I work with demons, well, you've got 16 minutes and 24 seconds to go fucking backwards and watch, okay? I don't want to hear your nonsense. I'm going to sit here and vape now. I'm going to enjoy nicotine. Oh my God, ladies, motherfucking Jesus, the South has arrived. How you doing, little sister? It's solitary living, motherfuckers. Oh, it's a party up in here now. Let me get the tequila and the wine and the beer. We'll just mix it all together. Demons have always called to me, not in a murder my family kind of way. Haha. Yeah, bitch, we all know what's really going on there. I think the allure of something that is considered dangerous and dark, and I have a lot of dust on top of this TV. Like motherfuckers, like you should see this shit. It is climbing itself. It's disgusting. I have dust that has somehow clung to the wall. This is nasty. I live in a trash bin. Motherfucker. Demons and darker aspects of the occult, I think, have an alluring hold over people because it gives some people the power that they don't have in their own life, or it gives them this. It's like witchcraft. It gives you power that you feel like you don't have. And demons are a darker aspect of that, where it's like, it feels like you have this unimaginable power that you can call upon at any time. And because of the way the demons are described in a lot of texts and a lot of books, we get this image in our head that we have these powerful entities that are at our side and they do what it is that we want them to do, when most of the time they send out their minions or their legions of the spirits, whatever. They don't actually fucking do the shit that you want them to do. You think Belith is going to get off his ass and bring yo cheating ass husband back from that honky tonk bar all the way to yo bedroom for yo fishy ass cooch? Motherfucker, please. He gonna send one of his goddamn spirit bitches out to do it. See, that's the other thing is that people don't understand that when they call upon gods or entities, that it's not actually the god or the entity that's going to do the work. When you call on Hecate and you say, oh, Hecate, please give me an orgasm this month. I haven't had an orgasm in 3 months. Take me to the moon, Margot. Take me to the moon. she's not actually going to do the magic. Well, she might. I mean, if you're trying to get pregnant, I could see in that particular case, she might actually have a helping hand. But most of the time, they're going to have their little fucking minions do the shit for you. Miss Paula Jones says, I've been doing good, just dealing with some personal fuckery. Burn a bitch. Burn a bitch to the goddamn ground. Burn them all to the ground. Burn them. What were we even talking about? I was ranting about something. Was it Cindy Lou Who? Was I ranting about Cindy Lou Who? Has Cindy Lou Who even been on the tubes in a long time? I found another bitch on the internet. Ooh. 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 Oh, shit. I don't know. I haven't checked up on her TikTok lately, but she a toothless motherfucker. She a toothless motherfucker, and she ain't made of cinnamon. I'll just say that much. She a toothless motherfucker. Probably should stop eating them cinnamon candies. Mm-hmm. You know how I handle that mess. Burn it all to the ground. This bitch, she salts the earth. She burns it. She salts on it. She spits on it. And then she burns it again. And then she stomps on it. And then she goes and explores haunted places on her Instagram. I've been meaning to find that video you put on Instagram that you said in a comment. You're like, I uploaded a video. I went to this place. I did this thing. I saw this spookiness. I want to see that video. I want to see some spookiness, yo. I like watching videos where people go into haunted places. You know, when I do my little cinematic videos, yeah, I go out to abandoned towns and all of that stuff, and I gather all of this footage, and I compile it into this like cinematic type thing. But like what these other people do, where they go in and they get to explore these abandoned houses and churches and all this other shit, I'm just like, do I really have bags under my eyes? Oh my God. I'm Karen. I'm literally turning into Karen. Ooh. Anyways, what was I saying now? But yeah, I just like the United States has so many abandoned places. Like there's this one image of this guy that's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go into this church. It's in the middle of town. It's completely abandoned. I'm just gonna go in and explore. And I'm like, we ain't got none of that shit here. If we got abandoned buildings in our towns, we lock that shit down. But you Americans just let everybody walk into everywhere to explore everything. And I'm like, motherfucker, I gotta come to America. I will come to America once you people figure your shit out. Y'all too fucking divided. So, we talked about demons. Why do I work with demons? If you don't understand why I work with demons, bitch, you gotta go backwards. I have done paranormal and abandoned explores for over 40 years. Yes, but have you ever just packed up fucking witchy supplies and gone to these places and been like, let's conjure some dead people? Because I would totes fucking do that. My friend is all like, oh, you shouldn't call on the spirits that were here. Like when we go to explore abandoned places, she's like, you shouldn't call on the spirits here because they could be dangerous. I'm like, honey, I want some fucking danger in my life. I want some of these spirits to come and tickle my cooch in a way a man hasn't tickled my cooch in years. I got cobwebs in places only the spirits can reach. But I also kind of wanted to talk. I want to jump to quiet magic as opposed to TV witches. We're gonna reverse my subjects. I got subjects. I got topics. But you know how I do my topics. I start on a topic and then I just fucking go off. Different path that branches off, and then I forget where I am in the conversation, and it's been 2 hours, and people are like, "Can you get to the point?" And Lunar Wisdom's all like, oh my God, what is happening? I'll tell you what's happening. The fucking queen is back. You never know. I never do know. I just never know. I don't know. But I do know that I am the queen. and the fucking queen. Questions about the queen? No? Great. Let's talk about quiet magic. So, what is quiet magic? Quiet magic is magic that you do on your own. You're like, we're solitary witches, bitch. No, I'm talking about the YouTube people, like the Lady Grave Dancers and the. Who else is still on this fucking platform? Ravenways and all the other old timey people, right? The boomers of the witchy generation, if you will, the boomers. That makes me a millennial. Oh my god. No, I'm pretty sure the Lady Grave Dancer is technically a millennial. Okay, what comes after boomers but before millennials? So like in between 60s and 80s? So like 70s? If you're born in the 70s, what are you? You're not a boomer and you're not a millennial. You're a generation something. The generation somethings. Oh wait, no, I'm pretty sure there are some people that are 50 on YouTube that make witchy videos, so they could technically be boomers. You know what? I'm just gonna lump y'all together, y'all boomers. But insults aside, what the fuck were we talking about? Oh yes, okay. So you see all of these like older witches who have been doing their magic on YouTube forever, right? Like the quiet magic that I'm talking about is the magic that you would imagine that there you go, Gen X, the Gen X people, okay? But the type of magic that I'm talking about is the type of magic you would picture them doing off camera based off of the way that they've either described or showed you their craft. But it's much more personal than that because you only have the perception. Does that make sense? It makes sense in my head. It's like, it's the magic that you do without the cameras and the editing and the lights and all of that. It's the raw, unedited, unscripted, well, I don't think you can script magic, but if there are people out there who can script magic for YouTube, then you should be fucking on TV because, honey, we ain't got no time for your fraudulent fucking fakery. Okay, Cindy motherfucking Lou Who, I want to speak to your goddamn manager. Look at my Karen hair. Okay, I want to speak to your manager. This is a fucking Wendy's. I'm just gonna keep saying that this is Wendy's because this is Wendy's. This is a Wendy's where we hang plants and we get shit stuck in our throat. And no matter how much fucking face paint we put on, we still got these bags under our eyeballs. This is what I'm gonna look like when I'm old. I'm gonna have these lines. I've already got these lines. Oh. I'm not even in my 40s. I'm halfway to. I'm almost. Let's calm the fuck down. I'm almost halfway to my 40s, and I just got these bags under my eyeballs. We were talking about quiet magic. We weren't. Let's get back to that. So it's like the magic that you do that you don't talk about, that you don't. It's the times that you might refer to in your videos, but you've never explicitly gone into. It's the secret rituals that you do that you don't share with anybody else but yourself. It's the reflection and the time that you take for yourself to sit there and just kind of listen to the entities and the spirits that you work with, right? That is what quiet magic is. It's not even magic. It's just the things that you do off the internet. I have all these people watching. These bitches are bitches of other bitches that are offended by my bitchiness, and I'm the queen, so don't you be bitchiness. But I got all these bitches watching, and I'm like looking at the chat. I'm like, this chat's gonna get flooded with bitches. I ain't got no time for flooded with bitches. I always hate that. You say something or you mention someone in passing, and your entire view goes through the roof because all them and their bitches. Everybody's bitches. I got bitches, you got bitches, we all got bitches, all the bitches show up. It's like we're demons and we have our legions. Oh, the days of old. The days of old with the Cindy Lou Who's. I miss the Cindy Lou Who's. Where did the Cindy Lou Who's go? I was talking about Toothless Bitch at one point. Yeah, the woman who eats too many cinnamon candies. Oh my God, it's just so funny. Like, how do you just let yourself go in that way? But anyways, this bitch was being attacked. We're moving on from Quiet Magic. So I talked about it, I said my point, and now I'm moving on. So this bitch was being attacked on TikTok because she did a review on a hoodoo book. And her review was as basic can get because it's TikTok. Like how can you actually do a fucking review on a hoodoo on any book on TikTok? I mean, now you can. You've got 3 minutes, but before, when you had 60 seconds, bitch, you could barely get it up for an orgasm. And if you are dating a man who can get it up and finish in 60 seconds, you need to figure your own shit out. Because things should last a little longer than 60 seconds. But if you get pregnant every single time from that, then girl, I would keep the fucker. Especially if they all turn out to be sons. I mean, let's just get sexist while we're at it. I have been watching Vikings. Everybody wants a son. No one wants a daughter. I don't know why. I do know why. It's the lineage legacy thing, but we don't have that today, okay? Everybody can be everything, even when they shouldn't be president. I'm just throwing shade. So my other topic that I wanted to talk about was TV witches, but I had another one in between there. Oh, yes, the Toothless Bitch and the hoodoo shit. Why is nobody in chat? There's 6 of you fuckers. Why is there no one in chat keeping me on track of what the fuck it is that I'm talking about? Oh, because, you know, you're just ranting and raving. Like, yeah, like a fucking lunatic. Oh my God, I'm going to be 60 and I can do fucking, what is it called? Live chats and have my fucking, what is it called? Geriatric rants. Get off my lawn, children. Gives a whole new meaning to the term Minuteman. Well, it does explain where the man came from in a minute. I'm a horrible human being who probably needs to be canceled, but I'm not relevant enough on the internet for anybody to come hunt me down and make videos about me and then try and cancel me. And if they did try and make videos about me, motherfucker, I will fling my feces across your goddamn house windows. Even if I have to drive to Texas. Because your squirrel moments are funny. My squirrel moments. God, I have squirrel moments. I look like a squirrel. Oh, I got these beautiful black squirrels that hang out. I've got this tree in front of my balcony. And I've got these beautiful black squirrels that hang out. And they chirp and they talk. And they used to hang out in the tree when Whiskers was alive. Yes, we'll get to that. When Whiskers was alive, and they would chat, and he would chirp, and they would chirp, and it was adorable. Anyways, moving on. Dead cat aside, we'll talk about that another time. But so, yes, Toothless Bitch. She was getting ripped apart on TikTok over doing a hoodoo video, like talking about a hoodoo book in a TikTok. I think she did multiple TikTok videos on it. But the point is, she was getting ripped apart for it. And it wasn't because of her review. It was because, wait for it, she's a white bitch. Now, if this was voodoo or Santeria, or a Caribbean practice that is like closed off to white people, I could understand. I could. Because white bitches ain't got no damn business in places they ain't got no damn business. I mean, we like to stomp all over things and we ain't got no damn business to be stomping all over to begin with. We've done it for generations and we continue to do it today. It's horrible. It's disgusting. But the point is that hoodoo, while nothing like Wicca, is practiced by white folk today and is taught by white folk in some circles, from my understanding. And I believe one of the hoodoo books I have is written by a white bitch. So I am finding it very difficult to understand why these dumbass cunts want to try and lock away a spiritual practice and say, no, this is ours. You have no business talking about it. You have no business practicing it. And these people were making TikToks about her, and they were more vicious than we were when we were attacking this toothless cunt on the internet back when I was in my 20s. Do you remember your 20s? Because motherfucker, I remember my 20s, and those were some good ass times. I mean, whew. Drama aside with dumbass cunts, I mean, that was good ass times. Not gonna lie. But I mean, like, I don't understand where the gatekeeping comes from with hoodoo or Wicca, because at least on TikTok, I've never seen it on YouTube. I have seen people give book reviews on hoodoo on YouTube and they don't get attacked. Even other Black spiritual practitioners of hoodoo who come over and see a white bitch on YouTube doing a hoodoo book review generally either will correct them on something they said wrong in a positive, polite way, or will praise them for their review if they thought it was good, or they'll offer some other insightful, non-negative, non-derogatory comment. But a lot of the people on TikTok, for the hoodoo aspect, and I watched her videos. I can barely stand this toothless cinnamon candy eating skank, but I watched her videos because I thought maybe she said something or did something or whatever and was really pissing off the internet. And it just turns out that I think she was interested in incorporating hoodoo into her practice. Now, you can't incorporate hoodoo into your practice. You can't just take bits and pieces of it. That's fucking rude. That's stomping all over shit. It's either hoodoo or it's not hoodoo. There is no eclectic witchcraft. I fucking hate the term eclectic witchcraft. Like, who comes up with this shit? What white bitch sits in their fucking living room with their fucking fupa? If you don't know what a fupa is, I want you to go and Google a fupa. Don't show your children what a fupa is. But you go Google what a fupa is. These white bitches with their goddamn fupas are sitting there being like, "Ooh, I'm an eclectic witch." And they got their little sticky notes all over their computer and their little crystals here and their candles over there. And they sit on their computer all day typing at their forms, and their fat rolls hang over everything. And they just sit there and they haven't showered in days and their hair is clinging to everything. And they look at you with their like Cheeto face covering and they're like, "I'm an eclectic witch, my precious." Like, it's like, what the fuck? You're not an eclectic witch. You're a demonic, golem-like creature that even if I bathed would just be better if I shot. Right? There was a rant in there and there was a point, and I don't remember what it was because now I'm hung up on the term fupa. But you get my point, right? Like, it's white bitches making excuses for stomping all over other people's spiritual practices. But in this particular case, I could understand where some people might have taken offense to the fact that she was like, I want to incorporate. I don't know if she meant, like, if she meant it like that way, where I want to take bits and pieces of hoodoo and mix it into whatever fucking rainbow cesspool fucking monkey feces it is that I practice and fling all over the wall because I like to color in my book of shadows like it's a coloring book. I mean, you do you, right? It's artsy. It's artsy, right? And art is a form of witchcraft. There is, what's her name? Molly Roberts. She does these beautiful artsy grimoires. And it's just, there's a difference. There's a difference between cinnamon candy eating skank bait, fucking glitter bomb of a Book of Shadows, and what Molly Roberts does. Molly Roberts puts care and energy and love and magic into her work, and cinnamon eating skank bitch just puts glitter on her pussy and drags it across the page. That's a vile image. Oh my God, I have to compose myself. Oh my God, that was so funny. I realize I'm the only one that's probably laughing at that. Puts glitter on her pussy and drags it across the page. That's called pussy magics, bitch. Oh, it reminds me of the time that my friend was walking down a flight of stairs and decided that she wanted to ride the stairs on her ass all the way down. Oh. You know, like, there's no context there, bitch. It's less fun. Just zip it, you fupa-loving skank. So, anywho. So she just kept getting ripped apart, and it turned less about her wanting to practice. Well, no, it was less about her wanting to incorporate hoodoo into her craft, and it turned into more of, how dare you talk about hoodoo? Who are you to even think about wanting to practice hoodoo or get into hoodoo or this or that or the other thing, and blah, 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 blah. And the more that I looked at the people that were doing this, the more that I was like, why? Why are we gatekeeping? Why are we locking certain magics behind doors that don't need to exist in that particular case? You're not the only one laughing at that. Fupa glitter puss witch. I know a few. Oh my God, right? Fupa glitter puss witch. Fupa pussy witch. No, that didn't work. Fupa glitter puss witch. Fupa glitter pussy witch. No, that worked. Anyway. Oh my God, there have been a few of these crazy ass bitches on the internet over the years that I have been here. I have seen some crazy ass motherfuckers come and go from this platform. Holy fuck. And there are some crazy ass motherfuckers. Oh my God. Okay. So the other day I got a copyright strike on, what was it? The Dentalian oil. So I made a new video and I'm going to be uploading it because I ain't got no damn time. And it wasn't from like one of these companies, because every now and then, like, the royalty-free music that I use off of YouTube, because I'll just go find random royalty-free music and download it and use it in my videos. And every now and then a random company will come along and copyright strike a whole bunch and all this other stuff. Well, I had this really nasty comment by this rando bitch, calling me a fake witch and blah, 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 blah. And I deleted it and thought nothing more of it. And then all of a sudden, I got a copyright strike on that video and a couple other videos by a very similar person with a very similar name. And I was like, you fucking with me? Because I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to fuck you up. I don't even know where these people live. I don't even know if these were people. They could have just been bots. I don't even know who half of you are. I know who one of you is. Who is this Kubaba H? Wow, it just showed up. But I dig it. You dig this fupa glitter puss witch magic? That's what we practice here. That's what we practice. Has any of you seen The Good Witch? We're going to move on to TV witches now. Is my other subject that I want to talk about. The Good Witch. Oh my God, you people need to go watch this. I don't generally like Hallmark TV shows or movies. They're fake and they're pretentious and they're full of white people and they don't like gay people, and they just want white, perfect, normal, skinny ass white women who are just normal. But this show, I like this show. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with witchcraft. There is no spells that are cast or rituals that are done. There are little things. It's all in the little things that she does. Maybe she suggests I think she opens up like a candle store or a crystal store or something. She opens up some kind of store, and she'll usually suggest like a lotion or a candle or something. She'll suggest something that might help you out of your predicament, and you'll know it's witchy because they'll play that little chime sound or that little musical tidbit to indicate that it's witchy, right? Or it's mysterious. But that show inspires me because it shows you sort of how the most basic and mundane of things can be witchy. And we hear this. People talked about it on YouTube about how you can let me move this camera. I don't know why you're so up there. Why are you so up there? Why don't you come down here with me a little bit? Let me show you my titties. I ain't got no titties, but if I did have titties, I would. Oh my God, if I had Amber Honey Raven titties, I would wear the lowest cut thing. And when I got home, I would just take off all my shirt and my bra, and I would just let my titties hang out. And I would walk out onto my back deck with my titties just flapping in the wind. And I would be like, I am Mother Goddess, Queen of the Earth with my titties. I ain't got no titties, so I can't do that. But if I had Amber Honey Raven titties, I would do that every day. Every day. Hell, I would work from home just so that my titties could be free all the time. But no, like, there's just the most simplest, most basic of things, like offering your friend advice, or it doesn't even have to be like a tarot reading. It doesn't have to do anything with you mentioning or saying anything about witchcraft or witchy or spirit or anything. It could just be offering them a candle or a lotion that you made, or I don't fucking know, a hand job. I don't know what you need their spunk for, but girl, you got all kinds of crazy ass magic. If there is a woman who just appears to you while you having a bad day, and she's like, honey, I can help you with your problems, and she's just giving you a randy handy, honey, you need to get the hell out of there, because that bitch gonna steal your sperm and put the curse on you. She's gonna make you fall in love with one of her ugly children. It's not as funny as my glitter on pussy dragging across a page thing, but it does the trick. The other TV shows are like Salem, for example, right? Okay, so it's fictional, obviously, but it gives you a perspective of that era, the 1600s, right? When people had candles instead of light bulbs, when people had to physically leave their house instead of go on Facebook to connect with random strangers on the internet. You know, you wanted to get kidnapped, you had to leave your house. It didn't have to do with you meeting randos on the internet, right? Like, they can't come to your house. So, well, maybe they can come to your house. They can come to your house with your webcam now. They can see you when you're changing your stinky ass bra. But it wasn't that case in the 1600s, or whatever the fuck Salem was supposed to be portrayed in. So, and those things just kind of give you a sense of how basic it was. Really? Really? Oh, fuck fuck you and your country. You gonna make me want to sneeze. I get all prepared to sneeze, and then you like, bitch, we ain't sneeze. You can go fuck yourself. That's how I feel about that conversation. Yeah, let's pretend to sneeze, and then we don't ever gonna sneeze, and you can go fuck your sneezy self, you sneezy fairies. Do you ever believe that there are fairies that make you sneeze? They live in your plants. They got the sneeze fairies. The crazy ass bitches. I have been meaning to ask you, Miss Solitary Luna, are you still vaping? Do you still vape? Please tell me you vape. Don't tell me you gave that shit up. I know you didn't move up north. I know that fell apart. I'm so sorry for those fuckeries, my darling dear. But vaping will get you through it. It's that, or the nicotine will eventually turn into cancer and then kill you. But I just like to think that vaping will get you through it. I'm glad that you're still vaping. Without vaping, there is nothing. There is no life. Now, we were talking about Salem. Yes. So you get a sense from that show, okay, they have to physically go to the market to buy herbs. Because maybe they're not growing it or whatever, or they have to get it from somewhere. So where do you go to buy your herbs? Well, bitch, you go on Amazon. But most people can still go to the grocery store, which is where they would have went back in the old days when the grocery store was a market full of people who were pulling fish out between the damn legs and slamming it down on the table, and you're watching the maggots crawl out, and they're like, this is fresh fish. It's not so fresh. It came out of your couch. Do you got maggots living in your couch? I mean, I knew it smelled fishy, but whoo! Girl, take a bath. I am mean. And cruel. And American. No, I'm Canadian. And then in those shows you see, like, right, like they have limited supplies. Look at a bitch's altar on YouTube or TikTok. They got crystals coming out of their fucking ears. Okay. They've got candles everywhere in such a way that it's no way it could be a realistic altar because your fucking house would burn down. They've got all these incense and these tools and these carvings and these, and I'm not saying that those didn't exist back then. I'm just saying that they would have been more scarce, right? So like your village elder would have had them, or like the lady who lived in the hut probably would have had some of those similar tools, but she wouldn't have had all the crystals. She probably would have had the stones and the sticks and the bones that she would have found, right? Like we have all of this manufactured monetary stuff, whereas they have, even though it's a fantasy TV show, they have a more realistic representation of what witchcraft would have been like in relation to the supplies and sort of how they would have maybe gone about doing things, at least with maybe the mixing of things, and maybe, I don't know, it depends how unrealistic it was. But I mean, there wasn't going to be sparks flying out of fucking potions, right? But you get the idea. Like they would have had the things around them, and we don't have that. We don't have that sense. And I don't understand how we can be witches. Because it's like some of us, the older versions of us, right? The ones born during the boomer era and the Gen X era, have a more realistic sense of witchcraft. But the millennials have a less realistic sense of witchcraft and a more microwave, monetary, plastic feeling kind of witchcraft, where it's harder in some ways to connect because we didn't grow up with having nothing in relation to those tools and whatnot. And I did. When I started my craft, I've said this many times, I didn't have many things other than a mortar and pestle and a book and some herbs. And I would just mix and make different types of incense, different measurements of different herbs, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I figured it out as I went. But today, it's so easy to go to the farmer's market, to go to the gem store, to go to some other store to get incense. And yes, we can still grow the things outside, and we can still go and gather things and practice our craft that way. And I definitely do that. I've got so many sticks around this fucking house, and stones, and just other things that I find out in my ways and my travels, and so on and so forth. And it's not hard for us to do that, but I think when you live in a city, we become comfortable and complacent in being able to just jump online and order the things that we want, as opposed to actually going out and finding it. And that's where other shows like Vikings even kind of comes in. I mean, again, these are fantasy fiction TV shows, but if you look past that, you kind of get this sense of what it was like to be a pagan in those times, to be a witch who practices. And if you wanted even more realistic kind of experience, I would look up documentaries on the birth of England, and on wise people, and like on just how magic in general, and spirituality, and like Pendleton Witch, and like witch trials and stuff like that, because it gives you a little bit of an understanding of what the times were like and what the eras were like. And when you want something that's a little more modern, you could look at a TV show like Charmed, not New Charmed. New Charmed is garbage bullshit. Don't look at garbage bullshit, okay? Look at Charmed. Real Charmed. Back then, they learned to use what was locally available to do anything they needed. Exactly. I gave this example on TikTok, where I said, instead of going out and buying a poppet, and buying the oil, and buying the spell, and buying the ingredients to curse the bitch down the street, just go to your backyard, pick up a bunch of dandelions, make a poppet out of that by twisting them together, and then stare the bitch down when you next see her and rip the poppet's head off. How much more easier is that? Like, the dandelions are everywhere. And it's not hard to take them and turn them into a quick little poppet. It doesn't have to physically. This is the other thing. People who get into witchcraft, they want their craft to be so perfect and clean and precise, and they want it to reflect what they see on TV, like Charmed, Buffy, and not necessarily in the same way where it's like, oh, I throw this potion and the enemy goes boom boom. No, they want it to be like where it looks like it's clean and it's easy and it's a 5-minute thing, and it's witchcraft is messy, and it takes years, and it's introspection and self-growth, and dark and twisty and messy, and money spells and love spells, and cursing the bitch down the street, and cursing the bitch on the internet who's talking about you because she's a toothless cunt, and just all this other stuff, right? And it's not what you see on TV, but you kind of get a sense of what it could have been like. Or like from modern era, if you look at, like I was saying earlier, old Charmed, like 90s Charmed. If you watch that show, less about the fantasy element and just watch how the sisters interact with the Book of Shadows, how they interact with the spiritual community, how they, and not just like the fairies and the elves, but the other covens that you see in earlier seasons, or the other witches that you meet in earlier seasons, right? Earlier seasons of that show give a more realistic representation of modern day witchcraft, where it's quick, it's read a spell, light a candle, move on, mix some herbs together, burn some incense, right? Like it's a quick thing. It's something you do in 5 minutes. And Wicca in the 90s was definitely portrayed as that. It's this easy to get into. It's not ritualistic. It's not, we don't worship the devil. If you look at books that were written between 1990 and, I don't know, 2010, there's a lot of, we don't worship the devil, we don't work with demons, we don't curse, we don't hex, we don't do this, we don't do that. And the Wiccan read that comes in a lot of those books are very, you can't basically take a shit without it basically going against the threefold law, right? And Charm kind of ran with that, where it was like, you can't do things for personal gain. And I've always had this question of, if you can't do it for personal gain, then what are you doing witchcraft for? When I started making YouTube videos, I wanted to steer away from doing magic for personal gain, because I felt like it was just show offy and very I don't know, it just felt like, why like, witchcraft is more than personal gain. It felt like it was more, and it's really not. I mean, we're always doing something. We're always casting a spell for something, because it's a need in our mind, but in reality it's a want. And a lot of the times it's a want. Sometimes it's a need, but a lot of the times it's a want that we manifest as a need, because it just seems easier to beg the spirits, I guess, or our entities, when it feels like a need. I don't know. Something I've done, making a poppet from straw and bind it with a thorny bane. That works. And then just throw it in the fire afterwards. Throw it in the fire. Throw it in the fire. You're like, can you? No, throw it in the fire. Has anybody been doing any witchcraft for this Ukraine-Russia situation? That's interesting. I haven't seen any reports on that. I only mention that because when something to do with Trump and the witches were like cursing Trump, or like it made headlines, and they were like getting together to do magic on Trump or something. I don't know. But it also reminds me of the time that Gerald Gardner and his coven got together to do the Cone of Power to stop Hitler. And I was like, are there witches in Ukraine right now who are doing magics? I bet you there are. And I bet you their magics are working. I don't throw it in the fire. I soak it in hot pepper juice in a jar and bury it. Oh. Why do you have to torture them? Just throw it in the fire to let them go. Let them go. I need to trap a spirit. I need to pester a bitch. I need to burn something. You're like, what? You just throw magic at people? Not anybody. Specific people. Some people fight back. Some bitches actually got backbone and fight back. I'm like, oh, you are alive. You're not dead. Oh, okay. And then they start making YouTube videos again. I'm like, oh, shit, that was not my intention. But this is one of the reasons why witches need protections on the internet. You can meet some of these witches, and I don't have any, because I ain't got no shame, and I ain't got no time for your nonsense, and you don't have no time for my nonsense. That's why you throw my shit right back at me, because you ain't got no damn time. I know you ain't got no time. I got no time. You ain't got no time. We ain't got no time. But sometimes there are certain targets that I just like to poke and be like, are you alive? And I can understand from your hot pepper juice statement what you're saying there. Sometimes you want to return to the scene of the crime and dig up the jar and shake it a bit and see how they're doing. You alive in there? Is your life shit still? Oh, I wanted to ask people, not just solitary, but have you ever buried something on this topic and returned to it at a later time to then dig it up and add to it or dispose of it? Now, some people might say you can't do that. And to those people, I say, why? Well, that's disrespectful. Well, if you offered it, then obviously don't go fuck around with it. But if you did what Solitary here has stated, where you fucking make a pop it and stick it in some pickle juice, pepper juice, pickle juice, okay, and then bury it. What if you have a brilliant idea 6 months later and you're like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna put some goddamn fire ants in there? Is there a rule that says that once you bury a jar, you are not allowed to dig it up again? And if so, why the fuck have we not been finding all these goddamn jars? I'm actually afraid to bury a jar. I'm afraid to bury anything. Like, I don't want to be one of those weird people that's like out in the middle of the fucking night, like in the woods or whatever, and they're like digging up the ground and they're like, I'm gonna bury this here. Right? And then some dog comes by in the morning and is like digs it up and someone like picks up this jar and they're like, the fuck is this thing floating in there? What the hell is that? And they take it out and they like dump out the juice and they unfold the petition and they read it out loud and they're like, you will die, Cindy. And it's like, oh, what is this? I don't usually, it's always been an option. But I mean, like, is it an option? Like, where is the line in witchcraft? Like, what are you allowed to do and what aren't you allowed to do? Because apparently you're not supposed to be doing money spells on a new moon, I think. I don't know. I was very confused by that post on Instagram too. I saw that post and I was like, are you smoking meth? I mean, I know you've been places, girl, but I think you smoking meth. And there are all of these weird little rules in witchcraft. Certain spells, certain moon phases, certain candles, certain colors, certain herbs, certain this, certain that, certain times of day, certain masturbation cycles, certain this, certain that, certain pussy magics. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you can't control when you're gonna bleed. So why should you control how somebody's gonna practice the craft? If you want a rigid, structured practice like that where you don't do money spells on a new moon, which I personally think would be the best fucking time to do a money spell because it's the new moon, you dumb bitch. It's the new fucking cycle. Do a money spell on a new moon. Like, it makes sense to me. When the fuck else in a moon cycle would you do a fucking money spell? I don't think you do it in the middle of a moon cycle because the moon cycle is basically almost over, and you wouldn't do it at the end of a moon cycle because you're basically trying to get rid of something. So in my mind, and I probably read the fucking Instagram post wrong, so just whatever. Like, no one fucking cares at this point. But the point is, in my mind, you would fucking do a money spell on a new moon if you wanted to play the moon card and the rules and the regulations and the suck my donkey dick, right? Like, seriously. Personally, I think most so-called rules are nonsense, but that is the way I was taught, the old ways. You know, what the fuck even are the old ways? I want to know the old ways. I'm sick of the new ways. What the fuck are the new ways? What are these new ways? Well, we've already said it's microwave society. Got that shit right. But like, why is everything so simplified and easy? I mean, witchcraft doesn't need to be difficult. Again, the people who came up with these grimoires, the motherfucker white bitches who sitting in their motherfucking mother's basement telling me how to fucking work with demons, these motherfuckers, I don't even know where I was going with that. Oh, no, I know where I was going with that. These motherfuckers be white bitches sitting in the motherfucking mother's basement trying to tell me how to practice my goddamn practice. And these are the same white bitches who came up with all this grimoire shit. Okay? All of the grimoires throughout time have been written by white bitches, white men, who say you have to practice this way. Those are the ways that they reached out. Like, you people are so fucking dumb. Grimoires are not instruction manuals. They are laid out today like instruction manuals, but the way that they are intended to be read and interpreted is as you're following somebody else's spiritual, magical journey. And if you want to follow in their footsteps and practice the exact same way they did, well, then you have their grimoire. So I don't know what you're bitching about. But I do not have their grimoire, and I do not need their grimoire because I am busy making my own grimoire with my own experiences and my own practices and my own craft in it. Right? So if you picked up my grimoire, you might think, okay, well, this is how I have to practice this version of craft. And you would be right. That would be the way that you would have to practice it because, bitch, I have laid it out that way. The craft is a very personal thing. You have to follow what feels right for you and your path. Exactly. Okay? Follow your fucking path. Don't fucking follow somebody else's path. Don't follow the Lady Grave Dancer's path because you ain't gonna get anywhere. Don't follow Ember Honey Raven's path because you ain't gonna get anywhere. Don't follow my path because you ain't gonna get anywhere. Don't follow Ravenway's path because you ain't gonna get anywhere. And if you haven't gotten the point by now, the point is follow your own fucking path and take inspiration and ideas and ways of thinking about things or challenges to your thought processes because you're so fucking limited and linear. Open your brains, people. Open your minds. People don't open their fucking minds anymore. They're so close-minded. And this is why our society is so divided. I don't think half you bitches could be witches. Y'all so fucking close-minded and so divided. I am the queen. I am the queen. That's who I is. Was there a point? Was I going somewhere with that? Or was I just calling people white bitches for the sake of calling people white bitches? It's fun to pretend to be woke. God. That's ruined everything too, by the way. Ruined everything. Trust in your own intuition. Not just that. Well, yes, that. But listen. I have a video on this. Listen. Shut the fuck up and listen. Not to me. To the fucking world around you, to the universe. Go out into nature and listen. Just far away into nature, not into your fucking city park down the street. I'm talking, get your ass in a goddamn car and drive to the fucking mountains. Just get your ass in your goddamn car and drive to the mountains and find the most secluded resort park path hiking thing that you can and walk for an hour. Just walk for an hour and then just stop and just turn off your headphones, turn off everything, and just stand there and listen. And then you will hear everything. You will be given all the answers that you are asking. You will be told where to go, how to get there, and what to do once you're there. You just have to listen. That's all you have to do. Now you might think, I ain't got a car, I ain't got no way. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. This is not my point. I don't care where you go. I don't give a fuck. Just go somewhere where there's nothing and just listen. Even if you just have some shitty ass little city park with trees or no trees, I don't give a fuck, down the street from your house. Go there at midnight. Be cautious, but go there at night. And the city will be quieter than it is during the day. And you'll be able to hear, to listen to the wind, if there's trees nearby, to the trees and the sounds, and just immerse yourself in nature. That's why I like to go to the forest and in the mountains, because there's no one out there. There's birds, and you can hear the trees move. Fucking hear them move, bitch. And they talk. The trees talk. They talk to each other. They're just up there moving and swaying, and they're having a whole fucking conversation. And the birds, well, we all know the birds are fucking talking, but like, just the wind is helping the plants and nature to talk, and you just have to listen. You just have to shut your fucking gob and listen. Okay, I'm taking questions for the next, I don't know, 15 minutes. And there's nobody here. There's 3 of you. So we're going to sit here and we're going to vape and we're going to pretend like I'm talking about something and that my name isn't secretly Cindy motherfucker Lou Hood. Also, I have to admit that this lighting setup I've got going on and the amount of contrast I put onto this webcam has made, at least from my perception, this video look amazing. I look fantastic. I look gorgeous. I fuck you. That's what I meant. Follow your heart. Follow what your heart tells you and what nature teaches you. Bitches are not attuned to nature anymore. Bitches are attuned to pavement and Netflix and their fucking crystal collection that's sitting on their desk covered in their pussy slobber. It's so gross. I bet you one of them is just sitting there being like, oh, I just pulled a crystal out of my fupa. Ew. Oh, that's nasty. There used to be a lot of egotism in the craft on YouTube. I don't see it anymore. There's no egotism on YouTube anymore in relation to the craft, but there used to be. There used to be these group of women, these nasty little cunts. Ooh, these were some nasty. I want to tell you some stories. There used to be these nasty, nasty cunts on the internet, and they had this ego and this arrogance about them. They're not here anymore, but they used to be, and they had this arrogance and ego about them that, in a certain light, without knowing a lot of the context, you could admire their perceived confidence in their craft. But behind closed doors, these cunts, as I like to call them, would just talk about other people and talk about how fake they are, or how fraudulent they are, or how just garbage of a human being, or how poor they are. And it's funny because this group of women that I used to belong to were on a poverty scale that's lower than middle class, but higher than poverty. So like lower middle class, I guess. And which is the same area that I fall into. I fall into between lower to middle, like regular middle class. And it came off as this perceived confidence that they had in their craft, that they were ancient and wise, and they've been doing this for a long time, and the little things and the just the way they would present themselves. But as you got to know these egotistical cunts, you really saw that it was all a facade, and it was all an act, and it was all a mask that they wore because they are just so, they've got nothing else in their life to give them any kind of direction. And so instead of using their craft, which I don't doubt the validity of, but instead of using their craft in some kind of positive way, even if their craft wasn't positive, instead of using it in some kind of positive way in order to maybe educate other people or share their insights or their thoughts or whatever, they kept it all a secret and would draw you in with the notion that they would share their secret with you, but it turns out that they just wanted another minion to do their dirty work and somebody to manipulate and all of that other stuff. And it's interesting to see how the craft is shaped by the person that is using it. Because as I have said, and Solitary has said, and many other people have said, the craft is a deeply personal spiritual path that one follows and creates themselves. And when you have these deeply flawed, broken, damaged individuals, they take their craft and they twist it and manipulate it and make it dark, and it might be a bit separate from who they are as a person. Like they might be like a fucking raging sociopath. Right? Or like the world's greatest fucking cult leader. Oh my God, Cat W Magic would be great as a cult leader. Did you see her as a fucking cult leader? I could see her other nasty little cunt bitch who fucking comments on Instagram, but some people, right? Some people are fucking crazy and insane, and their craft still, like you can separate their craft from them and it still looks beautiful. Like it's not that their craft is fraudulent or fake, it's that they as a human being are scum and dirt and trash. But somehow they make the craft or their craft look magical and enticing, and I think that's part of the lure that they use to draw you in to their like dark and twisty fucking manipulations. I don't know where I was going with that, but it has everything to do with how your craft is personal, because you shape the type of magic that you practice. And the Lady Gravedancer is a perfect example of this, because she's talked about this publicly on her channel, where she used to practice dark, evil magic and how it turned her dark and evil and all of that other stuff. And she's talked about that at length. I think she's got 2 videos up about it or whatever. And what you're going through in your life, what you're experiencing, or what you have experienced, I believe shapes the type of magic that you practice and the type of magic that you're involved in. But that doesn't mean that if you're involved in like left-hand path magic or you're working with demons, that you're necessarily a broken and damaged, horrible person who should just die. It just means that a piece of you has formed your craft to go in that direction. Does that make sense? I don't think it does. In my mind, it made sense. Okay. I have given you bitches an hour and a half of my time, and we have had some laughs, and we have had some sugar, and we have had some cinnamon candy fucking toothless cunty hoodoo practicing rageaholic pussy magic. Okay? We have had it all. We've even smoked a bowl of meth on this channel. We have never done that. But someone's gonna fucking run with that, and they're gonna go on their little witchy fucking live show with their little bitchy itchies and fucking tell people that I smoke meth. Because apparently that's what the witchy show does. That went around for a little while after some drama decades ago. I don't know. Not meth, but drug addict. And it was like, you want to fuck with me? I'm gonna come to your house and fuck you up. Because I at one point I had Karen hair. Can I get Karen hair back? Does this work? Remember, the Karens, they flatten this part of the hair and they droop it over and then they spike this part up. I want to speak to your manager. Bitch, this is fucking Wendy's. Okay. I love your faces. I will be back at some point in the next decade. I don't know when. A decade from now. Okay? A decade.